Hi, I'm Jim from RV4x40.com.
And I'm Chris. Welcome to our home.
We're glad to have you with us today. We're going to talk today about boondocking and show you some sites where we're boondocking currently. And if you're not familiar with the term, it's also called dispersed camping in some of the federal government literature, but boondocking is fundamentally being out somewhere without any services. So you have no electric, no water, nothing else. You're totally self-contained. And there is a fair amount of land out west, especially, not so much back east, but in the west where the federal government still owns huge chunks of all the states. There's national parks, there's national forests, there's that kind of facility. There's also a great deal of land which is under the control of the Bureau of Land Management. And basically, if it's not a national park or national forest, they get the rest of the stuff. And they have campgrounds. Typically, they're unimproved, although there are some long-term camping sites they have in Arizona and California, which are designed for people who want to winter there. This is not one of those. This is a Shivano camping area, which is near Toledo, Colorado. It is run by the Department of Fish and Wildlife, the Bureau of Land Management. So it's a somewhat bumpy road to get up in here, but we had no trouble with our 40-foot motorhome towing the Jeep up. And so it's readily accessible for the biggest of rigs. We've seen some 45-footers come in here. The benefit of the BLM land is that there's no one around you.
Yes, we really are pretty secluded. There are other campers up here, but we really can't hear them or hardly see them. And so we get to kind of just spend some time apart from the rest of the world. And we are in the middle of the beautiful Rocky Mountains. We have a terrific view. Whichever way you look, it's gorgeous.
That's certainly one of the things we like about it. Certainly the fact that the camping is free. There are no fees for it to use this type of facility in general. But it is a place that we can go and be away from other folks and be in isolation and really enjoy nature and what's around us. We love it. Our dogs sometimes aren't so sure that they love it because of no grass and some things like that, but they enjoy walking around and exploring the woods just as much as I do. There's also some great opportunities up in here for taking photographs, both day and night sky stuff. So we've been exploring that. And I was talking to a couple of the rangers up here yesterday, and they were asking me about, first of all, how we had found the site and why we came here. And their comment was that they have seen far more visitation this year than they normally would see. They said this particular site, which probably has a dozen or more places to park and camp, he said usually if they have a couple people here at a time, that's about normal. Said this year it's been pretty well filled up most of the time. And I was talking to him about the fact that with all the COVID-19 stuff going on and people not wanting to fly or stay in hotels, there's been a real run on rentals. They're hard to find these days. And most RV dealers are having a really good year. They're selling a lot of units. So a lot of people are taking to the road. Maybe they've never done it before. Certainly aren't experienced campers, but they're up and going places like this because, number one, it's free. There's no charge for it. Number two, you're in absolutely beautiful territory, and you're out pretty much by yourself or as isolated as you care to be.
Yes, any direction you look out here is a beautiful view. And we are thoroughly enjoying it. We enjoy the cooler weather up in the mountains, and so all in all, it's a great experience.
Yes, we came up from Texas through New Mexico, and we're coming out of 100-degree temperatures. It's been in the upper 70s or low 80s here during the day and down into the 40s at night. So a very, very comfortable place to be. And it's high desert, so there's not a lot of rain around, not a lot of moisture, but it's a great place to camp. Well, this is the driving end of our motorhome. Nothing particularly unusual about it. This is a 2014 Tiffin Phaeton, as I pronounce it. They call it Phaeton. And it is a 34,000 pound vehicle. It's 40 feet long with a single rear axle. You can get them longer with a tag axle. And we tow a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which by itself weighs in at 5,000 pounds. So going down the road, we're 39,000 pounds. One of the things that's very important when you're towing something like this is to put a supplemental braking system in the Jeep or whatever you're towing. And it's there for two reasons, one of which is it does significantly reduce the stopping distance of the package if you're in a panic stop situation where it's really important. The other thing is it's a breakaway package that if the unfortunate thing happens and the tow bar fails and then the safety chains fail, then you've got a vehicle behind you without any control and it's careening down the road. If you've ever had that happen, it's a very scary thought. I did have it happen once with a trailer when the safety chains broke. Encourage you when you're considering towing something behind an RV that you make sure it has supplemental brakes on it.
So this is new to us as of November of this past year. We moved from our previous RV home into this one, and we are thoroughly enjoying it. One of the upgrades that Jim did, which took him a lot of time, was to put in some carpeting or headliner, I believe, material that it is, that you would find in your cars, into all of our cupboards and drawers. And that is a big plus because it makes the ride much quieter. He also individually cut some pieces to go in between some particularly noisy items such as cookie sheets and muffin tins. But otherwise, just to kind of familiarize you with our home, we do sometimes have our family in here with our daughter and her husband and 3 kids. So we are able to have a large group here as well, or at least large for this size of home. So the sofas and the breakfast area all come in just perfectly to serve our family with the addition of an extra table. Other than that, it's very typical microwave and gas stove. We do have a residential refrigerator, which we enjoy, has an ice maker and, some of the luxuries. We also, with this home, have, which we didn't have before, have 2 bathrooms, a half bath and a full bath, and we are enjoying that. Before we leave the kitchen, one of the features that we have and are enjoying is a pull-out, which adds to the kitchen counter. So this gives us that extra bit of space when we're preparing a meal or have our family in, and definitely comes in handy. So the bedroom part is pretty typical for the most floor plans, with storage up above, and about the only thing we added in here, other than Jim's electronics, which he may visit with you about later, the hooks on the pull-out slide, and those that come in real handy.
Not a terribly exciting picture for you, but it's the one piece of our data network and Wi-Fi system that I can easily show you. The rest are buried in cabinets that are hard to get into. We installed a Peplink Max BR1 Mini cellular data modem, which allows me to connect to either AT&T or Verizon, whichever has the best signal. We rarely try to use the Wi-Fi from the campground because it's almost never usable for any kind of data speeds. That's all connected into a Wi-Fi system that broadcasts around the RVs. If we want to connect a laptop or a cell phone or anything else, we use that single Wi-Fi connect point. Don't have to think about connecting to a different Wi-Fi system every time. I also ran a Cat6 cable from the front back into the bedroom. So the data storage back here, which is all of my videos and pictures, and it's about 13 terabytes of data storage there. And so that Cat6 cable connects everything together through gigabit speeds, and our Wi-Fi system will run typically a half a gigabit to a quarter of a gigabit speeds. Gives us a lot of data storage and a lot of flexibility and easier access to data packages, and we do have a antenna on the roof which connects to that modem. And so we usually can get reception most everywhere we go, but certainly not everywhere, so we still are limited in what we can do there.
So this is our full bath in the back here with a double door closet and the sink in the shower, and what I love, the washer and the dryer.
Well, this is an interior view starring our two dogs, Pepper and Sasha. Pepper is the black one and Sasha is the other one. And you can kind of get a feel. We have two sofas, one on either side, and we have a dinette on the left, which we had a table and chairs in the previous diesel motorhome we had, and we thought we would like this better, and we definitely do. For us, it's a better way to go. Less fooling with chairs, two of which had to be stored, and more room for us to sit, and they're more comfortable than the chairs were anyway. So Sasha's coming to see what we're doing over here. So that's the interior, and now we're going to take off and take a look at the outside. Well, this is what our beast looks like from the front. As I said, 40 feet long, and the whole rig together is 39,000 pounds moving down the road. It's not terribly difficult to drive, in my opinion. It's just big. You have to be careful. You have to think about turn radius and back end swing and what the tow vehicle is doing behind you and those kinds of things. But those are relatively straightforward. It does have air brakes, which requires a little bit of different thought process for how you use the brakes, but not difficult to learn. In Texas, because of the weight of this, we do require a Class B non-commercial license. It wasn't a hard thing to do, just a matter of taking a computerized, quote-unquote, written test, and then a driving test, which I did okay on. Unique requirement in Texas. Some states have similar requirements. Some states, if you have a normal driver's license, you can tow any kind of RV that you want without a special license. One of the major upgrades that we did was to add a tire pressure monitoring system to the coach, and the sensors go on both the Jeep that we tow as well as the RV itself. And these are simply sensors that transmit the current pressure readings back into a monitor display that's used inside the coach. So I can see the tire pressure and monitor changes of any of the 10 tires that are on the ground with our rig. More importantly, they have a built-in sensing capability if you have a slow leak or certainly a blowout and certain other things that can happen like over temperature. You get a warning up front, hopefully in time to prevent you from having a blowout while driving down the road, and you can stop and take care of the problem before it results in catastrophic tire failure. This one is a TST, or Truck Systems Technology system. Another major upgrade we did, and I actually moved these batteries from our previous coach. There is a video on the install in that coach, but these are Battle-Born lithium iron phosphate batteries, so-called lithium batteries. They have a lot of advantages. We do have a video out on the advantages in comparison between these batteries and conventional lead-acid batteries, but that's one of the major upgrades. The 4 batteries that we have in there replaced 6 lead-acid batteries, and I have about 25 or 30% more usable amp hours out of 4 of these batteries and out of 6 of the lead-acid batteries at a tremendous savings in weight.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and learned a little bit about places you can go throughout the country other than our beautiful RV parks. Times to get away, and during this time of COVID, it's been really good to just pretty much be off by ourselves. So we wish you the very best and hope you'll stay healthy, and we'll look forward to visiting next time.
It's been a great week for us up here. We'll be moving on again back to a conventional campground for a bit, and after that we're going to try and do some more boondocking. So it's a great life. We enjoy being on the road. We enjoy being with our kids when we can do that, and so we encourage you to go out and go camping if you haven't started yet, and tune back into the channel. We're here to try to show you some of the sites we've been, some of the things that we do, some of the ways we think makes camping easier and more pleasant. In the meantime, as we travel the highways and byways of America, we hope to see you. If we do, wave or honk your horn, and we'll see you next week.